Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is April 22nd. Today we're going to take a look at this system departing our region here. Might even get some sun breaks later on, but there still should be some residual showers across the area before we get a pretty nice day on Saturday and maybe another fairly warm day on Sunday before this next frontal system out here finally arrives. So you can see this trough over the Gulf of Alaska is eventually going to meander our way, but in the front of it's going to have some transient ridging. So Saturday looks like a pretty good day at least. Take a brief look at the rest of the country as well. Some severe weather across the Great Plains is possible. Blizzard conditions for portions of eastern Montana there on the cold side of this low. The severe weather is in the warm sector of that low pressure system out here. And then there's some extreme fire danger too. We'll take a quick look at that map there. It's really some of the highest level fire danger you can have. And yeah, it's been plaguing this area for most of the springtime so far here. But you see these high clouds streaming towards the region here, and this transient ridge should eat away at these too. So we'll get some decent sunshine on Saturday and probably get a nice day most of the day on Sunday as well. It's looking like before a frontal system reaches us Sunday night, Monday morning. And then the cold air will reset over the Pacific Northwest and bring a thunderstorm chance in through early next week again. So our active weather will continue across Pacific Northwest here in through early next week. You can see that fire danger in pink here, overlaid by high wind watches. We've got blizzard conditions up here for portions of Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas. So heads up if you're traveling out there. If you're going eastbound on I-90, watch out for that winter weather as you head out of western Montana. And taking a look at that fire danger here, this is really extreme and critical risk here. This is the highest level fire risk, and they've issued it for this area today. Just really dry air. The fuels are very dry too. The vegetation, the dry air, the low humidity, powerful winds. So yeah, it's lining up to be a pretty extreme fire threat there across Colorado into New Mexico. This is Spokane here. They're checking in with the warmer weekend here. So they're kind of highlighting that. So it should be a nice weekend. So get out and enjoy that. And if you are, especially in eastern portions of the states, Oregon, Washington, if you're in Idaho, Montana, check out some of these Skywarn weather spotter trainings, virtual training classes you can do. And you can register here, as you can see, weather.gov/Spokane. And yeah, so if you are interested in that and you want to buy a rain gauge or get a nice weather station, you can report your findings and learn how to do some weather watch, some spotter training. So here's that threat today for severe weather. You can see there is a tornado threat in there all the way up into South Dakota. Mainly a wind and hail threat, but there is a tornado threat with this system as well, as the fire danger lies right behind that where the dry line sets up here. And this is for Saturday. It's going to push off to the east a bit, highlighting through Oklahoma, up through Des Moines, into Minnesota. So heads up if you have any concerns out there. There is a tornado threat with those storms as well. This is looking at the NAM 3KM for today. So we put this into motion. You can see some showers bubble up across the region, but not like the past couple of days here. And then as we go into Saturday, you see the region dries out pretty well here. Nice day on Saturday coming up. So get out and enjoy that, because we're going to go back into the trough here next week. Sunday, you'll see the precip is coming, and we'll probably be getting some clouds at this point during the day Sunday. Precipitation probably arriving later Sunday night, as you can see here. Now, this is the European model here. I wanted to highlight the lightning potential. So as we go through the day today, you can see there is some lightning potential, but it's mainly Cascades east. And it's kind of highlighted there on the SPC too. It doesn't really include Western Washington or Oregon so much today. So as we put that into motion Saturday, maybe a stray shower on Saturday, but then going into Sunday, you can see, you know, we're pretty free and clear in the Pacific Northwest, maybe something up in the higher terrain of British Columbia. Going into Monday, and Tuesday is really the next big chance. Monday afternoon, maybe up in BC. Tuesday, the thunderstorm threat's going to get reintroduced. That will include Western Washington, Western Oregon, Southern BC, Vancouver Island, etc. So we'll see how that cold air develops, but it looks like it's coming. Then maybe we'll do it again Wednesday as well. So checking out, this is a forecast here for a simulated infrared satellite, the European model here. Put this into motion, see our system moving off here and that severe weather firing up across the central portions of the country. And you can see how these high clouds kind of get eaten away by this transient ridge as this comes towards us. And then the clouds start to increase during the day on Sunday here as this next frontal system. It's fairly slow moving, not that powerful, but then the cold air arrives behind it for Monday and on into Tuesday when we start to introduce another thunderstorm threat across the region. And you can see we kind of remain in this trophy position going on in through next week. We'll take a closer look at that in the extended here as well coming up. Just wanted to point out this too. This is the precipitable water here. You can see this atmospheric river out over the Pacific, but we're getting that time of year where these really don't affect landfall land as much, and you can see this kind of just bringing some of this moisture with the frontal system. But generally, this atmospheric river is not going to affect the West Coast. But you can see they're always active out here across the Pacific Ocean and around the planet. But during this time of year, we start to get away from these impacting North America so much. Now looking here, this is 10,000 feet temperatures. This is our next weather maker here. That's going to affect us on in through early next week. This is a kind of a cold air, a polar lobe that broke off from Siberia, and it's traveling across the Pacific Ocean through the Gulf of Alaska here. It's going to bring our frontal system through late Sunday night, and then you can see that cold air kind of get entrenched over the region here on Tuesday. That's going to give us our thunderstorm, our next thunderstorm threat across the Pacific Northwest. And you can see that cold air hangs around quite a bit here. But then if you notice this, maybe we'll get some ridging off in the extended. Some of the models are hinting at some nice weather coming early May. So we will take a look at this day by day as well. We'll also take a look at it here in a moment on the GFS. This is the European. You can see it kind of pop up some showers around even western Oregon through the day today. But then, you know, there still could be some sun breaks mixed in with that. Saturday, nice day, warm across the region. Next frontal system lurking offshore, bringing high clouds probably starting Sunday morning on into Sunday evening. The rain finally starts to arrive for the Puget Sound towards western Oregon. Mountain snows going on again through British Columbia, Cascades. And you can see this cold air just kind of continues across the region. Looks like some convergent zone activity, continued mountain snows for the Rockies, BC, Cascades. And this is the last night's European goes out 144 hours on this because this is like a 3-hour precipitation map. But let's check the long term here, looking at 18,000 feet. Here goes that trough exiting now. And there's that transient ridge that's going to bring our nice day Saturday. So the high pressure builds in, but quickly starts to get pushed out by this next trough system that moves through here. And you can see it really set up shop over the Pacific Northwest and kind of reinforce itself over us on in towards next weekend. But then you can kind of see some hinting for some possible ridging going out here. If this trough sets up far enough out of our area here, it will build this ridge up out in front of it. So hopefully that polar air stays away and maybe gives us a little bit of a break here coming up towards next weekend or early the following week. Here's the GFS. As always, good short-term agreement. Transient ridge builds Saturday. Trough starts to move in Sunday night, Monday. And you can see it hangs out. And we're going to be wet, damp, and cool going on through next week with thunderstorm potential across the region. And then you can see the GFS, it starts to disagree, as you can see quite a bit here. It's got this trough dug out pretty far over the Pacific. It's kind of a transient ridge here, but then it builds this ridge up as we go into the extended there. So kind of by a different process highlighting the potential for a ridge in the extended here on the GFS. So we need much better model agreement. We've got to get closer to the event on into early May to start trying to hang our hat on nice weather at that kind of a time range. So looking here, this is for the temperatures today. You see mid-50s for the Puget Sound, Willamette Valley, upper 50s. The Columbia Basin warming up into the 60s. So it might not be a bad day for everybody today, as long as you're not underneath one of those stray residual showers or some of those residual clouds. And Saturday, you can see we warm up pretty good through the Willamette Valley up into the 60s. We're probably going to see temperatures up into the 60s for the Puget Sound. Again, this is just raw model data from the European, so it's probably not taking into account everything here. And the Columbia Basin warms up nicely. We cool down, and then look, Sunday, the European has a pretty warm day coming here for Sunday. Upper 60s on the European here, raw model data. Willamette Valley nice and warm, Columbia Basin nice and warm as well. And then to Monday, you'll notice we start to cool down a bit on Monday. And then this cold air should be really chopping those temperatures down as we go into early next week. But here's Seattle, Tacoma. You see the warmest day Sunday showing on the European as of last night. Let's check this latest one here. Again, it shows Sunday at 66, then we start the cool down on Monday. So looking at the extended again, you see that trough really set up shop over us here. And this is below average temperatures for us here. We're supposed to be up towards the low 60s, I believe, maybe just above 60 when we start going into early May. So you can see next week, again, continued below average temperatures. I think this is going to be the coldest April on record for SeaTac if we keep this up without any dramatic changes here coming up in the last part of the month. So record cold April looks likely here. Now GFS shows the same thing. A nice decent weekend coming up, then bam, back into the trough here. Then it rebuilds this ridge, and check out these temperatures in the extended. It's too bad it's so far out because it'd be nice to start to get excited about some nice weather in our future, but it's a little too far out yet. And there's some troughs around, and those could easily be a little bit different than what the models are showing. And they could easily position themselves over the Pacific Northwest. So we will keep taking a look at that, but this trough looks pretty likely next week. And then after that, it's kind of more up in the air. So we'll just keep watching that as we get closer. So yeah, enjoy today if you happen to be one of the areas that breaks out in the sunshine. And then tomorrow and Sunday should be fairly warm days across the region before our next trough reaches the area and we get some more thunderstorm potential on in through early next week. So look, the channel's doing well. We're getting a lot of subscribers. Click like, share with your friends, post on your social media. I'll keep doing these as needed. And I try to do them daily. So I'm going to try to keep that up. It's fun for me to do, and it keeps me really aware of what's coming on with the weather, and I get to compare my past forecast to what actually happened. So yeah, enjoy the nice weather this weekend. The troughing's coming, then maybe a hint of some ridging on into our extended into early May, but we'll take a look at that day by day. So hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you later.